pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty God, we ask you bless this governing body with an abundance of wisdom and understanding, so that in fulfilling their public trust, every deliberation will result in actions that will promote the common good and general welfare for all the people of Morris Plains. Amen.
Amen.
Notice to members of the governing body and borough staff, any use of electronic devices during this meeting shall be used solely for the purpose of borough business. I'd like to welcome everybody here today, this evening. We do have no approval of minutes, approval of consent calendar. Ms. Berger.
I move to approve the following reports from March of 2024. Police Department, Municipal Court, Sanitarian, Animal Control, Building Inspector, Borough Clerk, Animal Licensing, Treasurer, Tax Collector, Building Inspector. Resolution 2024-77 entitled Refund of Overpayment. Resolution 2024-78 entitled Redemption Resolution Block Number 82, Lot Number 30, Redeem Third-Party Tax Lien. The Ladies Auxiliary of Morris Plains Fire Association be granted permission to hold their annual Mother's Day plant sale on the firehouse ramp Saturday, May 11th, 2024 from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Memorial Day Parade Committee be granted permission to hold its 38th annual Memorial Day Parade on Saturday, May 25th, 2024. Borough Council authorized the Borough Engineer to prepare plans and specifications for the Stiles Ave Improvement Project, Contract 2025-.01. The resignation of Derek Schneier, laborer, DPW, be accepted, effective April 26, 2024. Gary Wint, 9 Maple Ave, be granted permission to serve alcoholic beverages at family reunion picnic to be held Saturday, June 8, 2024, from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the Community Park Pavilion. And the mayor be authorized to sign a letter on behalf of Morris Plains requesting that the County of Morris be the negotiating entity for the borough in conjunction with the cross-acceptance process and the updating of the State Development and Redevelopment Plan.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Kathy. Roll call, please.
Ms. Berger.
Yes.
Mr. Brown.
Yes.
Ms. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Wagner.
Yes.
Thank you.
And just for the record, we're a little lopsided tonight. Mr. Cortez is out recovering from surgery, and Joan had a family obligation tonight. So at this point, I'd like to invite any members. Actually, before we do that, I'd like to just take a moment to thank the Morris County telecommunicators, the dispatchers up on the hills, they call it, and that do all of our dispatching for police, fire, and EMS. The chief and I went up there one evening this week, and just to give them a little bit of something to show our gratitude for them. But they are literally the front lines, the first people that encounter any sort of problem, and they get the right equipment, the right agencies, whatever it is. And we have one here who kind of supervises up there, Mr. Mark Bellis. So, Mark, thank you for everything you do and all the telecommunications. You've been there, this is what, your third week up there, Mark? You're serving 30 years, right? 35 years. So he's really dedicated himself to the safety of all the residents of Morris County and really New Jersey for all the services that they do provide. So again, thank you, and to all your fellow workers up there.
Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to invite any members of the public who would like to come up and speak. Come on, state your, hold on. Go ahead.
John Beck, Council, Mayor, part of the venue, American
Good
Way.
to see you again.
Good, thanks. Okay, actually, I've got a couple of questions for you. One is, I know you're getting ready for the transition from Bond, from Lennar to town, and we want to know the, basically perimeters and what's the obligation of the town and the obligation for Lennar, and then where we fall in as residents, HOA, to help making sure that everything gets taken care of over there.
Bill, can you speak to that? The requirements of the borough over there and the requirements of the HOA to their residents?
In terms of what's property maintenance or
Well,
road
it's,
maintenance?
I mean, we're doing the roads and we're doing blacktop, we're doing some sidewalk repairs, but there's a lot of other things that are still happening there. So we're trying to figure out what the process that we're going through, how far it's gonna take, and when do we, as residents of that area, get a say, or if there's other issues that are, you know, happening there, what we have to do in order to make sure it's getting done before the bonds are released.
Well, once everything's constructed and my office makes inspections of all improvements and make sure that the site plan has been complied with in terms of the obligations of the developer, then we recommend to the council that the bonds be released at that point. But there's no direct process where we interface with the HOA. And you can always contact us with issues you're aware of.
Okay, so we have some pending drainage problems and walls and things like that, and
Yes.
then we're gonna reach out to you
Anything
directly.
you're specifically aware of, let us know, get in contact with me.
Okay, once the bond's released, what does it,
So just, they're going through that process now of a punch list
Right.
over there, so you're very close, so the sooner that you get Anderson, Denzler's, or Bill, or Leon, that list of what you have,
yeah, we have an ongoing list, so I'll get that out there too.
Yes.
because they're very close to finishing up.
Okay, just, once it's done, what's the responsibility? Is the town responsible for the roads, the light posts, the sidewalks,
As far as I know, it's all the associations.
the roads?
Yes, sir.
I thought the roads were going through.
The roads will be plowed by the borough, not the parking areas.
Right,
The
that's.
sidewalks are yours. We do the garbage, the recycling, not in the apartment building, though.
Right,
That's separate, so only for the market rate units over there.
okay, so you guys would just be responsible for plowing?
Plowing, picking up leaves, if that is part of it, whatever, but yeah. Usually a landscaper that you guys hired just takes the leaves,
Yeah,
whatever.
that's, okay. Okay, then I'll get with the engineer and I'll get my list going. Thank you.
Hold on, Bill, hold on, we have
Yeah, one
Al
question.
behind you.
Yeah, one question for Lee.
You have to come up and state your name and address, please.
Sure. Hi, just a follow-up question. My name is Al Stark, and I live in the same community, well,
I'm sorry,
our
what was
community.
your name?
So a question for William. If we
Al
have,
Stark.
yes, Albert Stark. If we have a issue inside the houses, inside the condos and so forth that applies to everybody, is that something we bring to you as well, or not because it's interior construction?
Now you have to deal with the builder.
Okay. All right, thank you.
What's that issue?
So for example, doors have 6 edges on them, and all the houses, the doors they put in are only painted on the front, back, and the edges, but not the top and bottom that you don't see.
Yeah, no, that's all builders,
Right. So that's just an example.
builders' responsibility.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thank you. From the Sunshine State.
Thank you. I'm going back.
I don't blame you.
Bill Grecco, 9 Higbee Way. First of all, Mayor, Dennis, Council, thank you for the lighting on the pathway. I know it was a challenge getting JCP&L to comply and put the lights, even though some of the residents feel that they're too high and too bright. So I bring that to you as it's not me, it's some of the residents that are complaining about it. But as far as I'm concerned, I want to thank you for what you were able to accomplish, because I know it wasn't easy. John mentioned snow removal. My question is, when does the borough actually take over?
So once we get the release from Bill's office that everything has been satisfied, the builders, what the hell is it? Yeah, the bond, once all that's released, then we take over.
So that should be probably this winter coming, probably.
I would think hopefully before the winter,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
way that they're going and doing the punch list now. So
Yeah, my understanding is there's only a few left. I mean, the roads are all, as John said,
Yep.
have all been blacktopped, and they did a great job
Yep.
of that, anyway. The last thing I have are hydrant fees. Is there such a thing as hydrant fees?
I'm not aware of hydrant fees. I don't know what that refers to.
Well, some towns have where they pay the water company an annual fee for every hydrant in town, but in this case, we don't have a water company, it's the Southeast SMCMUA.
Right.
So I frankly don't know their policy as far as hydrants go.
Okay, all right, thank you. Now, will the group at the fire department do the actual flushing of the hydrants?
So the water authority does the flushing of
The water authority, okay. Thank you all, it's great seeing you, and thank you, Jason, and again, Dennis, for getting those lights, I know it wasn't
Thank you,
easy.
Bill. And just before you get up, so, Lennar did add another light on the end of that path.
Oh, I didn't know that, I haven't been there, back there.
So I was saving that for you today.
Oh, wow, thank you. Thank you. I know that you and Dennis were influential in getting that, so thank you.
Another light was installed at the end of the path.
Perfect.
But now I have complaints because the bulb is too bright, so.
Oh, my God.
We're
You know
we're
what?
checking the wattage on the bulb.
You know what I've
We're gonna
realized?
see if we can get that
Jason,
straightened
you
out.
know what I've realized is that we cannot please all of the people all the time,
Put
but
your
we
best
do
foot
try.
forward. You put
We
your
do
best
try.
foot forward and you see what happens.
This is still the best borough in the state of New Jersey.
And I have to agree with you 100%, Bill. And it's not a closed door right now with any other lights, but we have to, some of these things will take time.
By the way, I
We're not
know
finished.
you were involved in this also, I spoke to the county regarding the traffic light
Yeah.
on American Road and East Hanover, they're still waiting for equipment.
The equipment was supposed to be here April 12th, like I let you know.
It's not, yeah.
It's not here yet, and
But
we're still waiting.
no, he said we are still on the list, the light will be changed,
Will be changed.
so,
The other thing that I do want to mention, I did mention this to you, but I know there's other residents here, is the trigger cameras that are up on the lights.
Right.
Are also gonna be replaced. I believe Mike sent the purchase order into the company, so that is also gonna be happening. Right now, they are on, every cycle, it changes, right? Whether anybody's there or not, which is incorrect, but once we get the correct cameras or sensors up there, that'll
thank
be
you,
straight.
thank you, appreciate it, appreciate everything you've done.
You're more than welcome.
Thank you.
We'll try to do everything for whoever we can, Bill.
Thank you,
All right.
Mayor.
You're welcome.
Hello,
Hello.
thank you for everything you've done. Risa Wasserman, 5 Whitney.
Marie Plumbo for Whitney, and we appreciate your efforts today.
It's our pleasure, you know.
So
You're
Lenore-
residents of the community of Karen, so.
Thank you. So
wherever it is,
Lenore,
we'll try to-
Lenore added the light. I walk there every week. I go into Manhattan and I come back once a week or twice a week.
Right.
JCP&L put this big bright light, and that bright light shines in your eyes. I just wanna tell you what it
Yeah,
does.
no.
And it works for about 10 feet. And then between that light they put in, all the way to the train to the next light. The rest of it is dark. I can't see if someone's coming out of the woods. I can't see if there are animals. I can't see my feet in front of me. And it is dark for about the equivalent of about 2 New York City blocks, or 3 blocks, completely dark. I did it the other night and said, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay, and then I said, nope, I've gotta come to this meeting and tell you all, because really, what I was doing before that, because the town hadn't gotten a chance yet, I was walking down Court Road and coming around that way and avoiding the path, because I was worried about how dark it was. Basically, what I'm saying is, JCP&L did something, but they didn't do what the town needs them to do. And I see what they did, they put the light, the first light, on a pole there, that's their pole, I guess, and that they work on, and that's fine. And even if it doesn't shine in my eyes, it's not gonna go far enough. It leaves too much dark space.
So we have a lot of constraints over there. There are transmission lines for Jersey Central that are there. They were only able to put it either there, they can't put it on the within a certain distance of those transmission lines. That's why we're having a hard time getting anything in the middle, because of the distance from the transmission line, if you put something up high on the pole, metal, whatever. They didn't wanna do this project at all, period, and I couldn't take no for an answer. So we got something there. Like I just told Bill, it's not a closed door, but
We
nothing's gonna happen
appreciate that.
overnight on this.
We appreciate that. There just are a lot of our residents and the residents in the apartment building using the pathway, and
The other thing is, we have residents on Elizabeth Court also that are affected by these lights, and on Court Road as well, right? So on them, some people don't, so we have to find that happy medium with them. But it's not a closed door. I'm not saying that we're done with it, but I'm not gonna guarantee that we're gonna be able to get anything
I
further
just want
there.
the council to know it's not safe the way it is now, and I even had a bad experience already. One bad thing happened, I don't prefer to go into now, I can talk to you privately about it, but it's not safe.
We strive to make everything as safe as we
Yeah, no,
can.
I don't want
and
anything.
I don't want anything to happen to anybody back there either.
And if I could
Sure.
add to it, and we truly appreciate what you've done, but I must say the needs of that path have changed. Since all the residents, we have over 150 units there now of senior people who are very active, including myself, and I take it on a regular basis. I came off the train, there was no moonlight, it was pitch black. I am very fit, I became extremely disoriented. I had no idea where the path was. I was turning into the woods. I was petrified a rabid animal would come out, either at me or my granddaughter, and I couldn't find my way up the hill. Now, Lenore has put in trenches where they put the cements in the post, the way Morris Plains did around the train station. I would ask if someone could reevaluate that path and see it as a walking trail in this community, as a park, because so many people are using it. Right now, it's been used as a dumping site because no one has been back there, and the mulch, the rain from the mulch runs into the path, so it becomes difficult and slippery to walk. For all seniors, a lot of us bring our grandchildren, and it's hazardous. And I, like Risa, am not comfortable, do not feel safe, and feel it's only a matter of time. So if someone could look into this, analyze the usage of the path, perhaps put a bench in case someone comes off. I mean, there's a lot of people coming off that train. The train station is much better kept from the benches and the lighting perspective, but I think it was just forgotten as a path that wasn't used. It's extremely active, and I just asked you to reevaluate the usage.
We know that the path is heavily used now and if you go to the path next to it, there are benches, there's a sitting area and all that kind of stuff. So it's certainly something, again, that we're not closing the door on. We will try to make that as safer as soon as we possibly can. I can't give you a timeline,
No, I understand.
but
I just asked you to put it on the priority list because
it
there's so
hasn't
many
come
of
off
us
the priority
now.
list, so.
Thank you, we appreciate it.
It will be there and it will be on the forefront. Dennis knows but he's not in charge
Okay.
of it, yeah, but we certainly will make that improvements when and if we can.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
you're welcome, thank you. Anybody else? Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor.
Name and address.
Sheri Ali, and I used to live in Morris Plains. I am no longer here. I am in Budlick now. City Council, hello. Staff, thank you for taking the opportunity to listen to me. I'm a little bit confused, and I'm a little stressed about it, but I received a letter, an email from, I'm assuming it's from our councilwoman Nancy, that she wrote, and I'm a little bit confused about it, so I just wanted some clarification on it, so I have it here. So, for someone who have been employed since 2005, right, and have dedicated their life for 20 years to this town, and I probably lived in this town about 2 years. I served as a supervisor for the teen center, and it's a great program. Lots of feedback, lots of positive energy for the kids. And over the years, we have changed council. And for the last 10 years, it has gotten horrible. We're trying to make it good. It's a great program. We're struggling. There's so many struggles, and we have no directions. Council members come in and out. We have great ones that help. We have horrible ones that don't even do anything. And then we have one who just causes fires and burn things down that we built. And that's a problem, because my letter that I got is to terminate me as a coordinator and have me as an assistant coordinator. For 20 years, we have not had an assistant coordinator. 20 years. Why all of a sudden? For the last 2 years, I've been asking the council, we need help. We need a third person. You know what I got? It's not in the budget. It's not in the budget. How come all of a sudden you terminate a coordinator who not only take care of the kids, email, advertise, social media, besides the Teen Center program, when COVID happened, you guys had a list where you helped the elderly. I went shopping for the elderly. Didn't get paid for it. Didn't get paid for it, but I did it. There are kids, few kids, parents died. I consulted them. There are kids who have social issues. I helped. I did that for 20 years. And you take that person and terminate that person? Why? Why did you do it? Because I brought someone in to help. Okay, let's say for sake of conversation, you are right. I did something horrible. Don't I deserve the respect and the dignity to come and talk to me about something I did? Why didn't you come and talk to me about it? Why did you go and don't you think I have a fair say? What kind of judge are you? You go ahead and make a decision without hearing my side? Shame on you. Shame on you, council, who did that. I am disappointed. I am disappointed in you. You did wrong. And you need to think about the word caring. That is not caring. That is not caring. You want it your way, and if it's not your way, it's nobody's way. You come in, you take over, and you don't even care. I ran the program for 1.5 years and it was struggling. Where were you? Did you help? Did you assist? That's what I want to know. I am frustrated. You accuse me of something? Come and talk to me about it. That's what we do. We communicate. When you care about something, the community of Morris Plains is caring. You help. You build. You don't tear down. And I am very disappointed, Mr. Carr, with your council members. Very disappointed for treating someone who's been here for 20 years. At least give that person the respect. At least. It's sickening. It's a disgrace. And I'm sorry. I really am. And the only people that's going to suffer are the kids. That's the only people. You're not hurting me. You're not hurting me by making that decision. Your kids in this community will suffer. Because you know what? Now they don't have Sheri to call anymore when they're depressed. They don't have Sheri to come and say, oh, should I go dance with that kid? Why did Sheri do it for so long? Was it because of the money? $6,000 a year? You know, Art, while you're sleeping, you know what I'm doing? I'm on my phone trying to find vendors. Your kid came to the program, loved it. 2 hours a day, if not more, I spend a day preparing for Teen Center. Multiply that on what I made, probably a nickel, maybe. So I didn't do it for the money. I didn't care about the money. I did it because it's so nice when those kids come in and they see it's decorated. We just didn't throw a box of chips Right, Kathy Kelly? We decorated the table. It was nice. Thank you. So, am I frustrated? Yeah, I am. And the public needs to see this. And I'm the voice of this. Something have to change. You talk about terminating me? Mr. Mayor, you may want to consider terminating other council members to help you, not destroy you. Thank you.
Mayor, if I could just address Ms. Ali very quickly here. Ms. Ali, first and foremost, I appreciate you coming out tonight. Thank you for your comments. You spoke very passionately. However, a couple of things I just want to clear up. One, you said in your opening that you received a correspondence that was written by Councilwoman Verga. That's incorrect. I can assure you that I wrote that letter. And not only did I write that letter, but that letter set forth the will of this council, or the majority of this council. It didn't set forth the position of any individual council members. Secondly, I think this council has an urge to respond to your statements with justifications for their actions. But I want you to understand that I have instructed this council not to respond for two reasons. Number one, it's the borough's established practice that we don't discuss personnel issues in public. That's in accordance with state law. So we're not going to do that. Secondly, those communications that you asked about and the why questions that you asked about tonight, they raise issues that are protected by the attorney-client privilege. And as counsel for this, as attorney for this council, I'm not going to let them waive that, and I'm not going to let them jeopardize that privilege. So they're not going to respond to your comments here this evening. But again, I appreciate you coming out, appreciate your passion, but I wanted to explain to you why you're not getting a response here this evening.
I respect that, thank you. Do you want copies of these?
What is this?
It's the letter that was written to me and then my response.
Yeah, give it to Roseanne, please.
And then if any of the public wants to see what the town is doing, I would be happy.
Can I just ask a question? How does she get a response?
If you come up to the microphone, please state your name and address.
Sure. Dave Silverstein, I'm a CPA, 818 Belmont Drive, Hackettstown. How does she get a response?
Well, she's not going to get a response in a public forum.
Okay, how does she get one in a private forum?
She can try and address somebody individually in a private
One of
forum.
the council members?
Maybe, but I will instruct them to not engage in that communication.
Okay, how does she get a response?
I don't know.
She's not entitled to a response? Why she got fired?
If somebody wants to give her a response,
So
potentially.
you're saying that someone can get fired, job they've been in 20 years, and not even get a reason why?
Well, the letter that I drafted
Yes,
and that I sent
and I read it.
in the first paragraph sets forth the reasons for the action. So-
What happens if she disagrees with those reasons?
Then she disagrees.
And that's it?
Yes. That's it. If I get terminated from a job, you know,
I understand
I'm
it's employment at will, but I would think there would need to be a justification for or at least an a
well-
more
well-
detailed explanation.
with all due respect, someone could conclude that the reasons I set forth in that correspondence are your reasons for the action. And she may disagree, and maybe she agrees.
And what happens if she has
appropriately.
facts that show that the council knew about this,
Well, she
and
wrote-
other people actually had unapproved supervision with the students, or with the, the client, with the children?
Mhm.
Council members knew about this and did nothing, but yet they singled her out. And she's
Well,
been there
that's-
for 20 years.
At
Is
the
that all
moment-
hearsay type of
At the
stuff?
moment, that's
Yeah.
allegations that are unproved. But she also responded back to my writing, is that correct?
I'm not sure.
Yes.
Okay. Well, if I represent to you that she did, and in this writing put none of that, would that surprise you?
Yes, it would surprise me, because
Okay.
because
Well, her
we've
writing did
discussed it.
not.
And
that
it's in
would've-
writing?
That would have been an opportunity to explain herself. Her writing in response didn't explain herself.
Okay. And that was our only opportunity.
That was an opportunity.
So there are more opportunities?
No, that was an opportunity that she didn't respond to.
Her only opportunity. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Anybody else?
Hello, everyone. Touch, Sydney Demezzo, 123 Mountain Way. I was at the Board of Health meeting with Councilwoman Berga last week. The days are blurring.
Last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday. I don't even know what month it is. We're getting there somehow. It's getting warm out. Couple questions, because the president of the Board of Health has been unable to give me an answer on something. And as an attorney, well aware, and have stated to you all that I am likely breaking an ordinance by doing this work. I may or may not, as many, I believe, Mayor Carr, you stated last time, have an exception, which I appreciate. The president of the Board of Health was unable to give me an answer as to whether I may or may not, black or white, yes or no, continue to do what I am doing. Because I have heard now from residents that we're finding 97-year-old women. Now, you and I had this discussion 2 weeks ago. I agree that it's a problem, right? Totally understand. What I'm failing to understand is how doing these welfare checks, trying to get people in line with the ordinance, the cats are not going to reproduce because people are getting fined. So I'm still picking up kittens. We're still catching cats. I think, I don't know, we caught 4 last week. All of them were pregnant, all of them. So I just need to know, am I legally able to continue to do this? Do I have an explicit exception from the council to do this? Or am I supposed to hands off, let it all happen as residents get more and more upset and more infuriated because the cats are just ballooning?
Well, like I said at the beginning, we have an ordinance that's in place, okay, that we have to follow right now. So nothing is gonna change in the process of what we do. I know you have a specific question, but we have to see how this plays out, okay? Step 1, step 2, step 3, whatever it is. And as was said at the Board of Health, it's been said here, we appreciate your help. You're in the middle of this right now, so
Yes.
you're gonna have to continue to do this.
Okay.
I don't know how long that's gonna be. I don't
Nor do
know
I.
if it's gonna be till tomorrow, it could be next week. I have no idea what
Okay.
this is. This is really a short time period
Oh, no.
of what we've begun to do, right?
Mhm.
So, a week at the Board of Health, after we gave that to them, here we are. I just got the report today. I don't know how many they're up to.
A
Whatever
lot.
the latest report, I didn't, yeah, I mean, I didn't look at this one here, because it came late this afternoon, whatever it is, but, I mean, there's a couple pages of
Oh,
stuff
I
here,
know.
okay? This is a large problem.
I
And
know.
it's nothing that, it's gotten out of control. We're doing what we have to do right now to
Okay.
get this under control, so, I would say for now, continue doing what you're doing. If that changes, or if animal control says she can't do it anymore, or the council decides, no, let animal control do everything, we will certainly let you know about that.
I appreciate that.
And in our ordinance, it states this is, or what people can't do, right?
Right,
And
absolutely.
if they don't follow those rules, then we have to enforce it, right? And that's what we're
Completely
doing.
understand.
And that's how we got into this mess as it is, right?
Well, I know.
So, I told you at the first meeting, the second, whatever it was, let's start at the bottom. We have to
All right.
start and deal with play with the cards that we have right now.
Understood.
And that's what we're doing.
I was more concerned that myself and those residents helping would be fined for helping with this, as opposed to like
I'm
feeding
not
cats
saying
and extending-
residents,
Me, I know.
it was a specific question, right? So
Yeah, understood.
I'm not bringing any other residents, I'm not
Totally
saying.
understand, and I
As far as
understand
I'm
what you're saying.
concerned, right now, you're in the middle of this,
I-
and that will
yes.
continue until somebody asks you to
to stop. Thank you. I have a, sorry, Nancy.
Financial burden, you're taking it on
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Did you create a 501c3?
I have applied with the feds. I have not heard back. It will be retroactive to April 1st if they approve it, which they should. I filed a 1023 EZ because I don't anticipate making more than $50,000 a year. If I do, that would be incredible, but I would be able to service probably most of Morris County doing DNR work with that. So I did. I will update everyone as soon as I have that. I don't have the approval yet.
So what is that 503 for? What's it gonna do?
It's a tax exempt organization whereby residents and concerned citizens may donate, and I will, with their donation, I will provide a form. They wouldn't donate to me personally, they would donate to the organization. I would provide a form that you could have a tax exemption, the tax deduction rather, because it's a tax exempt
For
organization.
what?
To trap, neuter, release the cats, because right
By
now,
who?
well, I'm financially providing, like, I'm paying $55 a cat
Right.
to
But
the
if you're gonna
clinic.
offer this to other people,
What do you mean?
other residents, you said you got forms for other residents or
If
people?
they were to donate, then I, as the president of this organization, would need to provide them a form that would allow them to file it with their taxes to get a tax deduction.
So is
Susan
this
is
gonna,
continue doing what she's doing.
yeah, so is this gonna continue what you're doing, being funded by other people?
It's been, yes, well, I mean, at some point, yeah, but it's being funded by me personally. at
So
this
when
point.
we ask you if that happens to stop, what happens then?
And it's a 501c3, and whatever I made, I'll report to the federal government
And
and
does
the
that go
state.
away, or do you continue to
I
trap?
can continue
people?
it. No, my actions, because of the organization, could, if you told me to stop in this borough, because I would be facing legal action if I did not, I would lose my job, which cannot happen, and I would be forced to stop in this borough. However, if I found out that other boroughs did allow trap, neuter, release, I would be able to work with them, or work with animal control, and, you know, as a separate organization, and have my own contract with them, and I just wouldn't be able to operate here.
Yeah, as long as we have that understanding,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine, that's okay.
I'm not creating an organization just as a, you know, screw you thing. It exists, and that would be great.
No, 100%.
Unrelated to the cats for once in my life. The speed tables on Mountain Way. I am wondering why they stop, they stop at Glenwood and they don't continue along after Franklin. You know, like
that
up the
is
hill?
correct, yeah.
Why do they stop there? I ask only because I've noticed that people
So
have been.
this goes back a long time when the speed tables were a high item, I think, at the time.
Okay.
And people requested them, to be put in certain areas, and
Mhm.
that's what was done.
Okay.
So, they can't put them on hills, there are constrictions, or restraints to where they can put them.
Right.
Restrictions,
Yeah.
whatever, and that's, I mean, there's some on Sun Valley, there's some Franklin,
Yeah, yeah.
there's whatever, so.
Okay, I was just wondering why they stopped there. I'll just yell at teenagers like my mother used to do.
That who?
Teenagers driving their cars.
We have a traffic officer that.
Yes.
Yeah. No, not Mike, but we've hired an individual that does traffic during the day, so.
Oh, great.
If you let the police know, like, times of day that you see it.
I don't think they're speeding, I think she doesn't like the noise, right? Or the-
Oh, no, they're speeding.
Oh, speeding.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Which is our
speeding.
biggest complaint by residents, and that's
Yeah.
why we hired, so,
Yeah, no, the noise doesn't bother me at all. I would prefer the noise to people flying past the driveway, so, that's
I
all.
mean,
Okay.
it is challenging on police and fire trucks, they're going over them, but they are.
Oh, I'm sure.
To
Yeah.
deter the speeding, of course.
Yeah.
so.
No.
But if you have the information and.
Okay,
Sure, it's not
fantastic, thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I have, somebody's coming from the back, Jane, sorry.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. My name is AJ Capuzzi, 101 Glenbrook Road. I'm here this evening to talk about Southeast Morris County MUA's planned work. I have some prepared comments that I'll just read from. So Southeast Morris County MUA, our drinking water utilities planning a water main replacement project in Morris Plains on Glenbrook Road, Vangeola Court, and Keenan Place. That is expected to start next week on April 22nd. I am here to alert the community and officials that the work has the potential for increasing lead in the drinking water to unsafe levels. Southeast Morris has confirmed that if they encounter lead service lines during the work, they plan to only replace the portion or side of the service that is owned by the utility, not the side owned by the resident. This is a quote from the executive director. If the customer-owned portion of the service line is found to be constructed with lead or galvanized materials, the customer will be given additional information regarding lead, including language instructing them that they should replace their portion of the service line. In effect, Southeast Morris is planning to conduct partial lead service line replacements.
Can I just address that before we get too far along?
Absolutely, sure, whatever.
So, I think the statement of releasing or more contamination with lead is probably incorrect. I believe at the end of Glenbrook where you're at, there are no galvanized or lead pipes. Usually houses built, it could be, we haven't gone through that assessment yet. Usually houses built after the 1950s are all copper. We have been going back and forth with the water company for, I'll say conservatively, a year and a half, going over all these points that you have just brought up, and the things that you bring up, the Water Authority has stuff to back it up that they're not responsible for from the curb stop to your house for that portion of pipe. You're going to get into legal matters which I don't have the answer to, but that is the responsibility of a resident. So we are trying to get Southeast Morris, maybe, I don't know whether it will happen, and there are 4 towns that are involved in this. It's Hanover Township, Morris Township, Morristown, and Morris Plains are the 4 towns that are involved with that authority, and the 4 mayors are addressing this with the Water Authority. These are upgrades that have been in the works for years. Unfortunately, they've put this ahead of testing for some of these lines. As they go through and they find a line, the customer will be notified that they have lead and galvanized. At that point, they will be able to either decline or accept that they will change that line. Now, whether that's a water department contractor or your own contractor, that's entirely up to you, but they will offer that to you. They are also offering water filters and testing as this goes on for water if the resident wants that. And then 6 months after, again, they will be supplying testing for residents. I think that may address some of those issues there in your first portion. And I understand you're an engineer also for water.
Yeah, I'll address some of the things you brought up. So Glenbrook Road has, newer sections, older sections. It seems probable, based on input that Paul Cullen provided, that the older section from Speedwell to Stiles is galvanized or lead.
It's a potential, yeah.
So the point is, when they make those changes, the lead levels go up. It's not debated, it's a fact. I was there this evening to voice my concerns about what they're doing, and it's acknowledged that this will increase the lead levels for customers. That's a serious issue. It means that the lead will get into people's homes, and if they drink it, it will cause health effects. So that's what I'm here to talk about.
Them supplying filters and the testing.
The filters are part of it, but they're not
And
all
the
of it.
testing.
Yeah, but the problem is, you're introducing a poison into someone's home. It's like, the analogy I gave was, it's like giving someone a poison and then giving them the antidote at the same time. Why not just not give them the poison? That seems a lot smarter than purposely, knowingly increasing a dangerous chemical into people's homes. It seems foolish. And other communities are handling it much differently. They're doing complete service replacements.
Because those other municipalities have received grants, I'm sure that you know about that. I'm sure that you know that the water companies act differently, okay, as an authority or a company, all right, there's different laws, from what I'm being told, that govern those different bodies, okay, and what they're responsible for. So that's what we're going back and forth with the water authority.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about with, there's private water companies that can do certain things. I'm talking about public utilities like we have. We have a public authority. Other public agencies are doing full service line replacements, and it works. It's the right thing to do. The law states that all lead service lines need to be replaced within 10 years. So Southeast Morris is doing a portion, expecting the customer to do the rest of it. Most are not going to do it. It's cost prohibitive. So now we have a lead or galvanized service line that's sitting there, and when is that going to be handled? It should be handled now. It should be handled when the contractor is there to handle and do the work. So to me, I guess I was expecting more support from the mayor and the council about this, not so much of, you know.
Well, I'm not refuting, I'm just answering some of your questions and concerns there. So, you know, as long as the filters are being provided, the resident does not have to change the service lines, right? That's a resident responsibility.
Right.
Some of those service lines that are lead or galvanized, that lead and galvanized piping is still throughout the house, right? So all that plumbing has not been changed either. So even though you may change a service line, 30, 40 feet, whatever it is, some of the other problems will still exist throughout the resident's home.
Yeah, right. We're not talking. I'm talking about what the water utility has control of is what they're doing. What happens in the home is obviously the resident's business.
Correct. Yep.
But the problem I have is that the utility has taken a position that creates a public health hazard for our residents, and I think that's a problem. So
I think they're trying to mitigate that, and I've also talked with Drew, I'm sure you have too, and they're gonna try to send somebody ahead to let these residents know that they're potentially gonna have a problem, so it's not sprung on them overnight.
Okay, if I can address that point, because the law states that basically, in all instances, the public community water system shall make a good faith effort to replace the entire lead service line and shall conduct a partial replacement only as a last resort. Where's the good faith effort? The project's starting on Monday. They did nothing. They've done nothing to reach out to any residents, to let them know this was coming, to let them know what their options were. The work starts Monday. That's not a good faith effort. I think they're doing a poor job, and I think we need to recognize that our water utility is not doing a good job. And I am asking the mayor, the council, I believe we have representatives on the board at Southeast Morris County who are supposed to be looking out for us, to act on our behalf, to be looking out for our needs. Yes, some places are not doing full service. I think we should, but at the least they should be communicating about what their plan is. Furthermore, they have not done the inventory that's required by law. The inventory is something that they can go around and find out door to door. Other systems are doing it. What do you have? Do you have galvanized? Do you have lead? Do you have copper? That would be super helpful. They haven't done that.
AJ, I can't agree with you anymore. I'm in the total 100% agreement with you. That's why I'm saying this has been going on for a year and a half. This is what we're up against, okay? They're not willing to do stuff. You know how I found out about it, AJ? What's going on? Somebody came to my house, changed my meter, told me I had a galvanized pipe. I said, I got no notification. How many people in Morris Plains have you done? I think it was 17 people that did at the time. I said, well, I want every one of those pipes rechecked because mine ended up not being galvanized or lead. That's how I found out about it. And as soon as I found out about it, I could talk to the other mayors. They had no idea either. That's why we went in there and tried to get this changed. I don't agree with you. I don't disagree with you that what they did, that maybe their communication was wrong, and they have reasons why, which I don't really care about. I agree with you, but I can't change what they're doing and how they're doing it. We are fighting to get some of this stuff changed and done.
There's nothing that can be done legally? There's no legal action we can take?
I suppose we could sue ourselves, because that's what we're trying to do.
I mean, it just...
We've talked to our state, I've talked to federal, Mikey Sherrill's office, what can we do? I've talked to our local representatives, what can we do? I don't get an answer either.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate that. There's a few other items here. So I just wanted some good news. I attended the board meeting tonight with the Kellys who are here and one other gentleman who came, and they reported that they are now offering to check all the materials for anybody on these streets, and they'll be contacting the residents starting tomorrow. So I thought that was positive.
Did you ask them who did that?
What's that?
Did you ask them who brought that up?
How that came about?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
Next meeting, ask them how that came up,
Okay.
all right?
That's good news. So the next thing was, they are going to do analytical testing in month 1 and month 6, and I'm asking, can we advocate for monthly sampling until the levels drop to below the standard? So can you, if you had something to do with the other thing, can you advocate for?
You can ask them that question too.
What's that?
You can ask them about that question as well.
Okay,
That was a compromise.
okay.
I can go ask them again.
I just think it's a lot on the residents to have to be worried about sampling their water and not knowing whether it's safe or not. That's, I don't know, if you have small children, I would be, it would worry me. So, anyway, that's pretty much it. The last piece was just to alert you about PFAS, the forever chemicals. There's a new regulation, requires treatment. The regulation is gonna require treatment, but not till 29. My understanding is right now the levels are above the standard. So I think we as a community, you as the leaders of the community, need to press Southeast Morris to move forward with treatment so that we don't have unhealthy water from the PFAS. So thanks.
I didn't do anything with that, but did you ask that question there?
It did not, no, I did
Because
not.
I think that they are already gearing towards that already.
Okay,
If I remember correctly, that name or whatever that is before.
okay. Well, thank you for the
I don't wanna
opportunity.
talk for them or any, but I think that's moving forward.
Thank you for the opportunity and anything you can do to advocate. I think it makes a difference when the mayor and the council call and advocate on our behalf.
We've sat down with the mayors, with their representatives, their leadership, and again, this is something that's at the forefront. We
Yeah.
have not dropped the ball on this. As soon as we found out, they didn't communicate this stuff to us either.
Yeah,
Right? And so we were already probably 2 years into that. When was that law? 3 years?
2021 is when the law.
Yeah, so we started this, like I said, maybe a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years,
Yeah.
but at least a year and a half. And we haven't got too far. We've made progress, but we haven't got too far.
Yeah, I just think they need to do better. They should do better.
I don't disagree with
And
you.
we gotta hold their feet to the fire, because they're just not, the main work has been planned for quite a while. They have plenty of time to notify people,
I
plenty of
don't
time.
disagree with you. I asked them
All right.
for communications that I could share with the residents. I just got that this afternoon.
Yep. Thank you very much,
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
AJ. Yep. Okay, I'm sorry, Jay.
Well, I'm Jayne Geiger. I live at 33 Sylvan Drive in Morris Plains. And this should be, I think you've already answered some of it, kind of a simple question. I read in the Morris Bee, one of the last editions, I think it was in the editorial, that a number of mayors in other municipalities had decided to get together just kind of on a social thing. It was not to solve a certain problem, it was to exchange ideas. And right away I thought of Morris Plains downtown, and how they had talked to other municipalities and what they did with their downtown, and they've come back with a number of wonderful events and ideas. And I know in my own professional business, it was always enriching to talk to other people who were in my same position and learn from them. So I wondered if you had that opportunity with other mayors in the town. It sounds like you talk when there's an issue, but sometimes talking about ideas and ways to improve things before they have to be improved is a great support.
So I think it's like football owners get together, right? Every group gets together. We don't all get together, all 39 mayors, or however many there are in the county, all at
Right,
once.
this was just a small group.
But we do get together often. And whether it's I was at an affordable housing meeting in Florham Park last week, 5 or 6 mayors there. I was at a meeting last night, half a dozen or more mayors were there. We go out to dinner, we go down to lead municipalities, but we bounce stuff off of each other all the time.
Well, that's encouraging to know.
Yeah,
This particular group that was in the paper was meeting at 7 a.m. And they said maybe that was a deterrent. Maybe a lunch meeting would be better and a little bit more social. Anyway, I just wanted to bring it up because.
Just for example, the meeting was at 8 o'clock or whatever in Florham Park the other morning.
Okay.
And the next meeting it's at 7:30, it's next month, whatever it is, but at night now. So you try to make it convenient for everybody at different, some are gonna make mornings, some will make the evenings. But we all understand each other's problems, but some people solve them differently than others. And some of those things stick to certain neighborhoods and won't, or towns and not to others, so. But yeah, there's constant community, not just locals, but throughout the county.
No, good to hear that. Okay.
Thank you.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Samantha Kelly, 8 Glenbrook Road. Back to the lead in the drinking water. I spoke with you earlier this morning,
Yes,
and
you
I
did.
really appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
I did learn a lot about lead and pipes in the past 24 hours. And since I do live quite a bit further up the road from AJ, I'm about 90% sure that I have a galvanized steel pipe. All of the internal pipes in my home are copper. So it's just that tiny segment that is not going to be touched.
You hope if they updated the inside, they would update the outside.
You would have hoped.
You would hope, right? Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I did go to the water meeting earlier tonight at 7. And I voiced, if they're not willing to compromise on doing what these other towns are doing with the full lead line replacement, is there the possibility of offering to the customer, using their contractors while they're already there to change out the line? And their answer was I don't think we can do that. So I'm hoping you could change that into a yes. I imagine it would be much cheaper than hiring a private plumber for tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, no, I think the confusion may be, and this is what I've been told, okay? So it won't be the contractor that's doing the road work. They're gonna contract with another contractor to come in and change that lead, that service line. It's not gonna be that day, right? Maybe, I don't know, but it's not the contractor that's actually doing that road work that will be.
Yeah, their answer
changing.
to me earlier was I would have to hire my own plumber.
That is incorrect. And I will talk to Drew about that.
Yeah, because I was trying to negotiate if I'm going to have to pay for this, if it could be done at the same time, I imagine it would be a little bit more affordable and maybe a payment plan or something. This is a very
Like I told you.
large unexpected
Yeah,
expense.
absolutely, and that's what I said. And this is our contentious talk all along, that how can you just come up and tell somebody that they have to do this, right?
And
But
I
you don't-
understand, I
no,
have
I
the option
understand.
to have lead in my drinking water, I just don't
100%.
choose that option.
But you can't spring this on people, right? You just can't do it. It's not fair. I don't have 10 grand laying around to do it, and you have a flat lawn.
And
What
I
about-
don't know that I have a galvanized steel pipe. I can't even get a plumber in until Monday. I
Well-
called immediately upon getting the letter.
They're coming out. They're gonna be out there ahead of us. They're starting either Speedwell working Mountain Way or Mountain Way working to Speedwell. So you won't have to pay for a plumber to do this, okay? They're gonna take care of that, and I will make sure of that. I was on the phone with Drew. I'm surprised at what I'm hearing today, that they're not doing that, because that's totally 100%
Yeah.
different than what the mayors have been told. We've been trying to have the water authority give low-interest loans, put it on a bill, all that
Yes,
sort of thing, right? Something.
reasonable.
They have not agreed to that, okay? That's one thing that we're fighting very hard for, at the very minimum. at the very minimum. Let's apply for grants, let's do all this stuff. All that stuff is the onus of the water department. I don't mean to bash the water department, but if it was my responsibility and my fault for not getting it done, I'll take responsibility. This is a water department problem, and they're not handling it correctly, in the four mayors' opinion,
And,
that are in this water authority.
I mean, the verbiage of the New Jersey law states that it's supposed to be an emergency and a
That's
last
the way you're
resort.
interpreting it, obviously they're
I mean,
interpreting
last
it
resort
another
is a
way.
pretty drastic thing to say.
Listen, I don't agree, and what AJ said, I don't agree, the communication is horrible. That's how I found out about it.
Also, I didn't know this was a problem until 24 hours ago when AJ told me. The water company didn't tell me until about 6 hours ago.
Yeah. Which you were supposed to be notified,
Yeah.
okay? This is a problem. It's a problem. I've tried to rectify stuff in the last 24 hours, the best that we possibly can, or I possibly can. I've gotten some okays, that's why I'm very surprised at what they told you about the contractor. That's not what I was told. So, I have to be on the phone again tomorrow. If not, well, it'll be tomorrow, won't be tonight. And
You
look
might
at
have
some of these
developed a
records.
friendlier relationship than I have with them.
I don't think so. Your relationship is probably better than mine. I have 7,000 people to worry about with this, and it's very troublesome. And you know, I'm not gonna incur the cost or the burden of Morristown's problem, where their homes over there are a lot older, right? And then there's many more of them that are in Morris Plains. They're telling me maybe 12 or 15%. We've been telling them for years. The first step is to get an inventory. That's the first step of this. Why isn't that done? Oh, we just hired somebody. Now they have, but it's in the next year's budget. What the hell good is that? None. So, we're all very disappointed and working as hard as we can for you. And I will be back on the phone, and maybe they'll start at your house.
I hope not.
No, maybe they'll start with the testing at your house.
Okay.
All right, and I'll be on the phone, and I have your email right here.
Yes, thank you.
I have your number.
Thank
I'm
you.
not happy about it. I'm not happy. We have to do the infrastructure upgrades. Everybody has to understand that, but the communication is horrible, how they're implementing all this, a rule that has to be done in 10 years. We're 3 or 4 years into this already, and they don't have a plan. It's not very good.
And also the replacement they're doing does not comply with that rule, according to, I don't know,
Can't
a couple
talk to that.
sentences
Yeah, I
down
mean,
after the
whatever,
last
but-
resort line.
Let's,
All right, well, thank you.
Let's do what we have to do now to make this work.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'll be, Sheri, well, I'll be in touch with you. I have your contact.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for going to their meetings too. Both of you. Ernie.
Good evening.
Good evening. Just name and address, sir.
Ernie Marconi, 309 Mountain Way. I just want to talk to you guys tonight. I'm not here to rebuttal on the Miss Ali's statement. I'm here to speak to you as the chairman of the board on behalf of the Teen Center program. Over the past couple weeks, the board has been notified of the departure of their coordinator. For whatever reasons that may be, we are not here to dispute that. What I do want to say is on behalf of the board, we appreciate the town's support through the years. We appreciate Chief Karofsky and his officers coming by to our programs, showing face with the kids. We appreciate the DPW maintaining our house and the community center so the kids can have a safe, fun place to go. We also appreciate all the support that we get from other town organizations, such as the Municipal Alliance Committee, which I am proud to say that through the help of Nancy, our 2024, this year's liaison, that the Teen Center and the Alliance Committee will be joining, doing some co-programming this year, and hopefully have a long-standing relationship in the future. I also would like to say that the board, knowing that a position is open, asked the town council to make sure that we put the right people in the right roles for the program. The Teen Center, we thrive. We just had our parent 5th grade orientation with the parents last night. It was very successful. I can say that we stress the fact that we are here to provide a safe, fun environment for the kids. It's properly supervised. We do a lot of things in town. We are short board members. We rely on board members. I'm proud to say that after last night, we have 2 board members that reached out already. We also have a couple that have expressed interest since the departure or vacated position. I just ask that we still continue our support for the program. It is about the kids. I currently want to thank last year's liaison, Samantha Kelly, for her support of the program. And I especially want to thank this year's, or our current liaison, Nancy Berga, for all the hard work and effort that she's done for the program. We got a lot of clarification on a lot of things, and I'm going to be very honest and upfront with everybody. There was some miscommunication, whether it was given to the paid supervisor or coordinator and it was ignored, or whether it wasn't. But now we know how we have to handle our vendors, how we have to handle our chaperones. Thank you to Roseanne for entertaining my phone calls and providing me with proper information and also supporting the program as well. Again, I just ask that we look at the bigger picture. It's about the kids and making sure that the right people are in the right roles for the job. Thank you.
Ernie, I couldn't agree with you more, especially on the kids. We go back a long way. You had my kids, and
Very long way.
Known you a long time, and your involvement over there has really been priceless for every resident who had kids here in the borough that's gone through that program. To me, that's one of the utmost important programs in this borough, that municipal alliance. Our kids are our future, right? So we have to invest in our kids. We acknowledge there were some issues there. You had turnover, you had COVID, you had all kinds of other things that have gone on, not only for that program, but for other programs. Volunteers are always difficult and have been difficult. Again, not that program, but in every program. So I think moving forward, a lot of this will get straightened out. And it's gonna make the program and other programs better. Okay, so for every bad thing that happens, or I'll say bad thing, but mistake, whatever you wanna call it, something good is gonna come out of it. And I'm sure that something's good gonna come out of this. And as long as I'm mayor, that program will be supported 100%.
I appreciate that, and change is not always a bad thing.
So,
Thank you for your time.
thank you.
Have a good night. Thank you for all you do.
Anybody else? Seeing nobody, we'll move on to reports of committees and department heads. Finance, Mr. Wagner.
Thank you, Mayor, real quick. Set up clerk's office, along with their regular daily duties. We have processing of financial disclosure forms have started, farmers market permits, working on 2 larger Oprah requests, as well as several smaller ones. And they are processing several road opening permits.